This is Ryan with Future Homesteading. Today we're going to be talking about 3 different methods of cribbing trees. And what I'm speaking of is we've got a whole lot of fruit here and these branches can't support the weight of the fruit. And we've lost branches right and left. We're going to go over to the apple tree. I'm going to show you a suspension technique. And then I'm going to take you to the pear tree where I take the suspension technique one step further. Then we're going to come back and we're going to somehow try to save this big branch here. It's 8 foot. And it probably weighs about 400 pounds. So let's get to it. We're out at the apple tree for technique number 1. It's not gonna have anything to do with pushing a piece of lumber underneath the branch and having it supported that way. That's fine if that's the way that you wanna do it. This suspension technique's pretty easy. First, you're gonna drive a T-stake exactly where you're gonna need it. You're gonna wanna split the difference on a couple branches. I'm gonna be servicing this area and this area off of this T-stake. Take your ratchet strap, pull it around, clip it to the top of your T-stake and give it a little tug. Now this is going to limit the amount of ventilation here, so you don't want to pull it real tight. You also don't want to crack any branches. While you're cribbing everything up, you're going to want to take a look at the fruit. You're going to want to make sure you're keeping the best of the best. Pull off anything that is malformed or just doesn't look like it has potential. Throw that out to the toads. If you see an apple that's too good to pass up, don't pass it up. But let's go over to the pears real quick. Hello there, can you see me? We're working on technique number 2. Technique 2 is one that I utilize more often than not on the property when I'm doing something like this. The pear tree is a little bit more brittle, so you have to be a little bit more ginger with it. Technique 2 is going to require that we have a sturdy main stalk. We're going to take these branches, we're going to pull it up, tie them together like that. There's not much to it. I found myself a good anchor point. I've looped it around, I'm bringing it back under, and I'm going to hold it out towards the end here, but I want to make sure it's an area that's not going to slip. Oh, there goes the hawk. That was nice of him. Come over on this side. And we're just going to pull the ratchet strap up. So I'm going to cinch this up just a little bit more to where it's holding a little bit more of the weight. The lower branches are going to come up with it, but they're not being supported by this tie. They should be okay. Now that I have that side tied up, you can see how it's lifted up. It's going to support the weight of that fruit a lot better. On this side, we still got one flop in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just run through the crotch of this branch. I'm going to pull it back to a secure location. That's it. All the while looking for fruit that may not be so pretty. Send it out to the toads. Well, that wraps up, technique number 2, which I've got more to do up here on this tree, but I'm not going to make you watch me do it. What we're going to do instead is we're going to go over to the peach tree. And the peach tree, we have a big monster branch that we've got to try to save. And for technique number 3, we're going to try to save this peach tree from losing this very big branch that we've got going here. This was originally a shade tree. We haven't had peaches in 20 years, so we didn't prune it that way. But this is a testament for proper pruning techniques. Anyhow, long story short, I'm going to go ahead and use the old-fashioned cribbing technique, but I'm going to put my own spin on it because this is 8'2". I took a measurement a little while ago. I also know that I don't have any lumber that would crib such a heavy branch, but I do have trees around the property. I'm going to grab a chainsaw. We're going to crib this the old-fashioned way, and we're going to save this peach tree. Let's get it done. I was prepared to harvest some wood from this standing dead globe willow, but we've already done that. It's right over here on the ground. I've just got to trim it up a little bit and get it over where we need to. There we go. The piece of wood was just a little bit longer than what I needed. So what I did was I dug a footer, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tail end of that in, I'm going to roll it back up and push that branch up, and we're going to have positive force into the ground, locking it into place. Let's see how it goes. So I've got it butted up here. There we go, we're all secure. And this would be the third method that we use around the homestead to crib our trees. We utilize what's available. Sometimes it's lumber, other times it's pieces of other trees. Use what you got, take care of your trees. We'll talk to you soon, take care.